You are now listening to episode 34 of the Let's Go Comic Show. My name is Justin.
I'm Matt.
How you guys doing?
All of us.
All of us. How you doing?
All one of us. I'm doing well. I don't know about everybody else.
I miss Matt. Have not seen him all
doing?
day, and so I'm glad that I'm here with him right now.
An entire day away from each other.
It was hard. But we're here to talk about comics, everything that has to do with comics and the world of comics, even things that skirt the world of comics, Matt. Like the skirt of a wrestling ring.
Oh. Hey.
Like our modern day superheroes, the titans of our youth, the 1980s and beyond. Today, we are going to tell you our rating system. What is our rating system, Matt?
We have our Let's Go rating system of gotta go, let's go, go, and don't go.
Yes, and based on today's news of the WWE lifting their ban on Hulk Hogan, letting him back into the World Wrestling Entertainment / World Wrestling Federation, as I'll always call it, because I never got the F out, man. I stayed in. I stayed the F in, yo.
I was already out before they got the F out.
Oh, man. So we're going to do our rating system based on the wrestlers in no particular order except for our order of awesomeness. And if you disagree, jump in the squared circle, man. Come at me.
Go.
Come at me, bro. Hurricanrana off the top rope.
Yes.
There we go.
All right, dude.
All right.
You kick it off.
I'm going to kick it off with the gotta go. This guy. And this was hard because I'm like, oh, I'm torn. Who do I want to be? That's what I think. Your favorite wrestler is the guy you want to be.
Ooh.
Who's the coolest
I don't know
dresser?
if I used that criteria when I picked mine, but
the coolest dresser, the coolest like look, the guy you're like, I want to be this guy. I want this person to be who when I look in the mirror.
You're really setting this up a lot.
when I pick out my clothing in the morning, when I choose
think of a professional wrestler?
When I choose my demeanor.
You wear a lot more clothes than most professional wrestlers, though. So.
I picked my favorite, the Macho Man, Randy Savage. Oh yeah! I want to snap into
I don't think I've
Jim.
ever seen you dress like him ever.
I used to wear bandanas sometimes. I didn't wear ski goggles to work.
And ski goggles and the cowboy hats and stuff.
Yeah.
No,
you
the
can
Speedo,
see the fringe hanging off my shirt, the taped up fingers. Oh yeah!
He's doing all of the mannerisms right now.
Oh man, dude! When he died, was it like 2 years ago? That was the worst.
It's been more than that.
Has it?
I feel like it was like 2011.
Oh man,
it's been a few years, man.
It probably was. It just felt
left a gaping hole in Justin's life,
dude. He was like, everyone's like, Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan's great. Like I recognize what he did, but Macho Man was the one. He got me pumped up because he was crazy. Like he had that look in his eyes when he'd like spin around.
Dude,
he wore the
always
bandana.
drove me crazy. I was like, someone take him out.
He had the Macho Madness. That's why, dude. He had the Macho Madness, and he'd be like, "Oh yeah, Hogan."
All right, this is going to turn into an entire show.
It's going to be me doing impressions. But yeah, dude, like
gotta go for you,
Randy Mario Poffo. That's who he was. That's who his real name was. Macho Man Randy Savage. He cut a rap record. He was in Spider-Man. Remember, he played Bonesaw.
I do remember that.
He has made his touch on not just the World Wrestling Federation and comic book movies, but my heart. He is a gotta go. Rest in peace, Macho Man Randy Savage.
You're just so passionate about this.
I am. I feel my passion comes from him.
I know he's also taking up a bunch of our show now.
He is taking a bunch of our
show. So I would say my gotta go from the world of wrestling.
Yes,
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
That's a great choice.
He was fantastic, man. He was, in my mind, he was the best part out of the New Attitude.
Oh, dude, he's the most electrifying man in sports entertainment.
Yes.
Dude,
okay, my favorite thing you do, because everyone always quotes, "Do you smell what The Rock's cooking?" Dude, the one that my friends and I would always like do to each other, he'd be like, "What's your name?" It doesn't matter what your name.
It doesn't matter. Dude, he figured out the freaking magic of pro wrestling. It's not your moves. Like Hulk Hogan, just he drops the leg. Oh, he drops the leg. He had the people's elbow. It was the dumbest move.
People's elbow,
but it sold it because it was like he did the whole like pulled off. The elbow.
It was the attitude. It was the persona that he had for sure.
It was his mic skills is what made him popular,
dude. And that's why like he's just owning the world right now. So I mean. Anyway,
there you go.
So,
biggest movie star in the world.
Right below that is a Let's Go.
All
Still
right.
a great rating.
Yeah,
Let's Go for you.
Ultimate Warrior. Now let me see it. I think he has probably one of the best wrestling theme songs of all time. That thing gets you pumped up. It's a bam, that should be like your alarm clock. If you're like, today I'm going to get up, I'm probably going to eat some raw eggs and eat a lizard or something and just freaking go run. Fringy boots, neon orange face paint, Ultimate Warrior.
Dude, when I think of the Ultimate Warrior, I think of him getting locked in a coffin by the Undertaker. And I was genuinely worried. I remember being really worried. It's like, no!
My favorite thing about wrestling is my dad. He was the best. He sold it more than the wrestlers, dude, because my dad was like, when they would hit somebody with a chair, he'd be like, that guy should be fined. He shouldn't be.
That's so funny,
My dad would get up and walk around the living room.
My dad didn't care about wrestling, dude. It was always my preferred tag team in the WWF game. Like on, that's probably regular Nintendo.
Right, okay.
Do you remember playing? Like, you could pick like 2 people, and it's always like, and it was all of the classic.
Was it the
guys.
dumb? It's just called WrestleMania, and it had
something like that. Yeah,
8-bit
like it was
Hogan on the front.
8-bit guys. They kind of like walk across the thing. It would always be Ultimate Warrior and Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, of course.
Which that's my let's go is Hulk Hogan.
Okay, that's good.
It's just iconic, man.
Yeah,
like I still, when I think of professional wrestling, like my mind still goes to him usually first.
The immortal Hulk Hogan, dude.
Forget all that stupid Hollywood Hogan crap. That was stupid,
dude. You know, I wasn't a huge. I didn't really get into WCW much because I felt like all the guys that you kind of liked from WWF, and they just became buttholes.
Yeah, it's like, now you're bad.
And everybody I knew who wore NWO shirts, I always thought those guys are buttholes.
And not even like
sorry,
and not even like a
fans.
heel like the Iron Sheik or Roddy Piper or any of those guys. Like where it's like you're supposed to hate them, but you kind of like them. It's like, no, you're like, just genuinely just not good. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, it was like, yeah. Oh man,
dude,
we gotta table this for another day.
We'll put it on the schedule, dude. We'll do.
I can talk wrestling,
professional wrestling. We'll let Justin talk for an hour and a half.
Cocaine and steroids, dude. Cocaine and steroids.
So below, let's go is a go.
It's just a go.
So who is just a
my
go?
No, it's going to be like we just talked about like legends, but my go.
Can I go with mine first? Because it's going to be doubling up one of the ones you already said. I would say Ultimate Warrior for me is a go.
Oh,
where I feel like it's not like a downgrade, but I feel like he is like a standard of like professional wrestling. But he wasn't ever like one of my top guys.
Really, I felt like he had too many issues, which kept him from being a gotta go. But anyways, my go is Edge.
Okay.
Remember he was in the Brood, and then he became like Edge. He was like the super weird goth guy, and then he teamed up with like Christian, and they were like really funny, and so I became a fan of him that way. But he's never like,
I always got him and Sting mixed up.
Oh really? Sting? Like when they paint his face?
Yeah, they were both
like they wore
had
coats.
like the kind of like
coats.
They had the coats and the goth makeup, and I was like, wait, which one was?
Edge
that was on my way.
Like,
that was on my way out though of paying attention to wrestling. So that's probably on me.
Yeah, Edge was a good. He had good mic skills, but for me, he's never like a top contender. I think he got there, but he just wasn't the draw. He was never The Rock. He was never Macho Man, but he was good. I feel like he always put on good matches.
Yeah, well, he wasn't. I mean, I could think of a lot of people that I would say more prominent than him.
Yeah, and that's
I guess why would he go?
He's not bad. I'm sure he's got his fans. I actually bought sunglasses that looked like his.
Nice.
So I was down.
All right.
So
we have a don't go at the bottom of the barrel. I'll do mine first.
Right.
Since I already said what Justin's was going to be before we recorded, so he changed it.
I changed it. I was like, forget it. I'm going to go worse. I'm going to get even worse than that.
Dude, that's fun. Mine is Big Show.
Oh, are you
Sorry,
kidding
dude.
me?
I was not into it.
What? He's fun.
Sorry, dude.
I like him.
Didn't like Big Show.
I made a sign for the Big Show one time at a wrestling event. I made a giant hand, and it said, whoa. Remember this song? And I put like the EEEs off the board. I cut like a whole other piece of paper, so it stuck off.
Dude, I don't know why. Because out of all the people...
Because he was fun. Dude, he was on Saturday Night Live one time when The Rock hosted Saturday Night Live for the first time. It was like WWF WrestleMania 2000 was promoting WrestleMania 2000. And it wasn't just The Rock that was on. It was Mankind, McFoley, Triple H, and The Big Show. And The Big Show actually like stole the show.
That's funny.
Look it up on YouTube.
Yeah, I never was into The Big Show. Sorry, man.
He was great, dude. Okay. My don't go, a.k.a. Trash Juice. This is going to be our Trash Juice section of today's show. And hopefully you guys remember our rating system. It's so funny.
Now that it's been 10 minutes.
I know. Buff Bagwell. He's the worst.
I don't even know who that is.
He's a WCW guy. He was just think about like the douchiest guys you know. That's Buff Bagwell. He'd come out with a big, stupid, like Willy Wonka hat, and he had like handlebar mustache, but was really thin. It was like Backstreet Boy style. And his name was Buff Bagwell, and he was a wiener dude. And so there you go.
Yeah.
So Buff Bagwell. What are you doing now, Buff Bagwell?
Dude. Okay, so
he's bagging some groceries. Well, I'll tell you that.
Honorable mention for me. Right. I know we said we weren't going to do it. Sorry, because we're totally like butchering our rating system right now. Andre the Giant, man, like just was always like.
What is he?
Honorable mention.
Okay,
like he should be in there somewhere.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
I just didn't put him. Like it was really hard to pick the top 2 for this.
Yeah, I mean, there's tons of guys that I would like, and the best came from the '80s. I feel like Mr. Perfect, Ravishing Rick Rude,
I feel
$1 Million
like
Man.
Both of those
not Virgil.
eras both had really good stuff, man.
No, they did. I'm just thinking like I feel like the '80s guys were more comical, like they were like superheroes. Where
For sure.
The '90s guys were just like all greasy, like hey, we're wearing black pants and leather.
Yeah, they were like. I mean, you look at Stone Cold Steve Austin, like that was a pretty good indicator of what most of those guys were like.
There was this one guy. He was the Hurricane. He called himself the Hurricane, and he was a big superhero fan because he actually had a Green Lantern tattoo on his arm, and he was kind of funny.
All right, so if you lost track through all of that,
there you
our rating
go.
system, as we give you our opinions, as we talk about comic book and comic book culture, is top rating is Gotta Go.
Gotta Go.
Let's Go.
There you go. Let's Go is always good though.
Yeah,
but Gotta Go is like that's the top of the game.
For sure.
That
Go is like average.
Yeah, that's okay.
And Don't Go is below average.
There you go.
So there we go. As we get to the show.
So let's jump into some
news.
Some news, man. So one of our friends, a listener of the show, Justin Pardee, no relation to myself, sent us this.
Do you usually think people with the same first name are related? Is that how that works?
True story. Some guy walked up to us one day. He's like, "Oh man, I always thought you guys were brothers." Like,
do people know
why?
like that's not how that works?
Yeah, like why? Because
you know
George Foreman, our dad, he's just naming us all the same. You're George. You're all Justins. They're all related.
And Justin.
So anyway, he sent us this list from theringer.com. So this is the top 50 best superhero movies of all time, which we should make our own list, but
we probably should.
We'll look at the Ringers.
I'm a little dubious towards anything that says of all time.
Yeah.
Like who made you the?
Yeah.
So here's what's interesting is they actually, I can respect this. They gave kind of the criteria that they used in grading all of these at the beginning of this article. So they have their Rotten Tomatoes score, the box office performance, rewatchability on a scale of 1 to 10. I was like, dude, those are pretty good. That's a pretty good rubric of things to kind of run things through. I agree with some of them. I don't agree with some of them. I think it'd be fun to talk about. So, Justin,
right off the bat,
let's right off the bat talk about number 50 and number 1.
Okay, number 50, Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. Man, okay, I get there's issues with this movie, but it's out of 50 movies of this list, I don't think it's number 50. Like, I think even today I tweeted, there's 75% of that movie I like.
Yeah.
25
I don't know.
of it's
I don't know
terrible.
if it needs to be 50, especially they do a honorable mentions list that's like the other ones between like 50 and 100.
Yeah.
And I'm like, some of those were better than Batman v Superman, but that's okay. Most of those are fine that they're there. Yeah, I don't know if I agree that Batman v Superman
is 50.
Is 50, but I would
rank it way higher than 50.
It's not top 10 for me. Maybe not even top 20.
I got to go through the rest of this list, but okay.
So, scroll all the way down.
Yeah, the first number 1.
Number 1,
The Dark Knight.
The Dark Knight.
That's all. Yeah, duh. Like you can. Guess.
I agree.
Dark Knight. Yeah,
I think that's a good call. It's kind of hard to touch that movie.
So, are we going to go 50, 49 all the way down?
No, I don't think we should go down.
Do that, right?
I think we should just. So
pop
here's
around.
what I think. I want to pop around to ones that maybe I disagree with.
Yeah. Can I disagree right off the bat?
Yeah.
And my disagreement. Oh man.
Go.
It's gonna be controversial. Everybody, send hate mail to me. Because number 3 is Superman the movie. I think Superman the movie's boring, and I think it ruined Superman for everybody because everyone thinks Superman's like golly gee type of guy, and even at that time in comics, he wasn't a golly gee kind of guy. And God bless Christopher Reeve, he was great.
Here's the thing: it did something, it accomplished something, but
it stereotyped who Superman is in like the public's mind.
Yeah, but I mean, it was like an early kind of precursor to superhero movies. I mean, there weren't that many around. I mean, I don't know.
Wait, what? The balls? Number 9 is Thor. They already put Thor Ragnarok at number 9?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I was going to get there. No, that's fine. We can jump around, dude.
What?
That is not number 9.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
No, I'm sorry.
Like, it was an enjoyable movie. And while we're there, Number 10, Guardians of the Galaxy. Nope, not top 10 for me.
Really? Guardians of the Galaxy is like in my top 3 of Marvel movies, but that's just Marvel movies.
Yeah.
Is it top 10? I don't know, man.
So you want to talk about their top 5? How about we just go through there? So number 2, they have the first Avengers movie. No. I don't think that's number 2 of all time.
I think it's in the top 5.
That's not top 5.
It's pretty. I would put it in there for being iconic. The first time these characters
several
got together.
other Marvel movies before that. And we're all going based off of our opinion, too.
That's
we're not
true.
doing the Rotten Tomato scores and box office.
I don't care about Rotten
stuff.
Tomatoes scores, dude. I really don't.
Spider-Man, the first Sam Raimi Spider-Man is number 4.
Okay.
I also think that's too high for that film. I would put Spider-Man 2 needs to be in the top 5.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you there.
Wonder Woman is number 5.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I think she belongs there.
Yeah, I agree. It was a good one.
Little white shout outs there in the back.
So Spider-Man number 2 just edged out of the top 5 at number 6.
Mm-hmm.
I think that should for sure be higher than Spider-Man 1.
Yeah.
I think it did a lot more. I felt like it was just way better, man.
Some of these it's just like, again, when you make a list, part of me is like,
yeah.
Sometimes 7 and 8 don't matter so much where they are. They're just on that list, you know.
Well, that's the hard thing is because number 8, one of the ones I disagree with, Captain America: Civil War,
Should be higher.
that should be higher.
Yeah.
Like that is one of the best superhero
It's better than
movies.
Iron Man, but is Iron Man higher because it kicked off everything?
Well, again, we got to take into consideration their kind of criteria that they're using too.
Yeah.
Spider-Man: Homecoming, number 11. Number 12, sir.
That's what I did. That was
Dark
that.
Knight Rises.
No way.
No
way is
way.
The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight Rises shouldn't be that high. The Batman Begins should be before Dark Knight Rises.
So Dark Knight Rises beat out Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Batman 89.
What?
The Winter Soldier.
See, Batman 89 should be in top 10.
Logan.
Oh, fudge.
X2, X-Men United is number 20. I also feel like that's a little low on the list for that movie.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
I think in time...
It was definitely the best X-Men movie.
Time, when it came out,
it was
the best. It was probably in the top 5 of comic book movies. But since then...
It's been pushed down.
It's been
for
edged
sure.
out. Yeah.
Yeah. But even Logan at number 18 and Winter Soldier at 17, I think that's definitely too low for Winter Soldier. I get that Logan is take it or leave it, depending on how you felt about it.
Age of Ultron is too high. It should be higher. It should be in like the 40s or
So Age
30s.
of Ultron is number 19. And that's should
now.
be way lower.
Just for the fact of all the Hawkeye crap and the Hulk Black Widow relationship, that should be freaking out of there.
We have Batman Begins at number 23. That should be higher.
Way higher.
Like way higher than that.
Can I just stop and say I like the artwork here?
It's a cool article. Yeah. And the little like thumbnails they have for each of the movies is good. Except for they chose to do that really just not great Captain America costume for Avengers.
Yeah. I was like, why didn't they use
unfortunate
Hulk or something?
So can I draw your attention, Justin, to number 29?
Oh man, I'm not there. What?
Spider-Man 3.
So Spider-Man 3 is better than Ant-Man
and Captain America the First Avenger,
Thor, Hellboy 2. No, Man of Steel. What? No. Wait. And no, this list is completely whacked out, dude.
Yeah. Right. Flash Gordon is number 43, dude.
Wow.
Why?
No one's thinking about Flash Gordon.
Yeah. Darkman is number 46.
No.
Why?
No.
So there's just ones I really disagree with, man. Batman Begins, X2, Logan, Winter Soldier. I think X-Men First Class should be higher, honestly. That's one of the better X-Men movies. And I think
The
really
Crow
solid.
should be higher as well.
That's true. They probably didn't do super great in the box office, I'm sure. Wasn't the most popular.
Hulk should not be as low as it is.
Ant-Man and Captain America the First Avenger being lower on the list than Spider-Man 3.
Watchmen should be top 20.
Spider-Man 3 is one of the worst comic book movies.
I mean, I don't hate it as much as most people, but I can see the disdain for it. I feel like Watchmen should be top 25. For what it accomplished, how it looked, I feel like Zack Snyder did a great job with that movie. Minus 2 things I disagree with.
Right.
Other than
We've
that,
talked about that.
Yeah. 47? Kick-Ass, I feel like, could be higher as well, because that was a different entry into the comic book genre.
It was a different entry. I don't know if I would go as far as like one of the best of all time. I will tell you, though, Deadpool is also a little high on the list for my taste, too.
Yeah.
Even though I enjoyed the movie. I think it's like number 12 or 13 or something around there. And I'm like, that's too high for that movie.
Suicide Squad's at number 49. fine.
That's fine for me.
I don't care.
I'm not as upset about the ranking of Suicide Squad and Batman v Superman as you are. Mm-hmm. I bet they put it there just to kind of get people's goats a little bit.
Yep, totally.
But I will say
my goat is got.
But I will say, let's just go like with one of their criteria, rewatch value. I haven't rewatched either of those movies.
Which ones?
Suicide Squad and Batman v Superman.
Oh, you haven't rewatched them at all?
But even in reading their like kind of breakdown of their scores for The Dark Knight, I was like, oh man, I want to go watch that now.
Really?
Yeah, I love that movie, dude.
All right.
I would rewatch all of the Captain America movies.
I like the overall ranking of superhero Chris's.
Of what?
The overall ranking of the superhero Chris's.
Oh, nice.
Chris Pine, Chris Pratt, Chris Hemsworth, Chris Evans.
They also have a ranking of superhero villains. Number 1 being Heath Ledger's Joker from The Dark Knight, and number 2 through 175 all other villains.
Wow.
I think they like Heath Ledger's Joker. Call me crazy. It's funny to see other people's lists of this. I appreciate it looks like The Ringer put in some work as far as like compiling some actual numbers and stuff like that. Like, I respect that. Mm-hmm. But just my geek heart, like, I just really disagree with some of those. I think if you look through, we have some honorable mentions at the bottom. Yeah. Like I said, the ones that I thought, I'm like, man, I would put those in the top 50 would be The Rocketeer.
Yeah, Rocketeer should definitely over
maybe half of that list.
Yeah, it definitely should be.
Flash
Gordon maybe should not be on the list.
And here's going to be my unpopular opinion. I actually liked The Spirit.
I don't think it was bad. It was fun. It was a fun movie.
I think top 50. I think that is totally doable for that movie.
How is The Amazing Spider-Man better than Thor? And why is Thor's picture from the wrong Thor movie?
I also noticed that. Yeah.
Superman Returns is a little high. Number 32, really?
Yeah, it's not that good.
Yeah.
But I mean, some other ones like Batman 89, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Iron Man 3, like some of those ones, I was like, yeah, that feels about the right spot in that list, like towards middle-ish, you know?
Yeah. Again, some of the stuff that really matters is the top 10 and the bottom 10.
Yeah.
You know, those are the most telling parts of a list like this. But what were they thinking, dude? The 5 best usages of gravel voice by Christian Bale. Tell me where the trailer is. Is it the trailer or is it the trigger? I thought it was the trigger.
Dude, my kids rewatched the Lego Batman movie, by the way.
Yes.
Today. I just remembered how much I loved that movie.
Why is that not on this list?
It's so good.
Yeah, we watched it a lot. We just watched it last Saturday morning.
So good.
Yep.
Hey, what would be your top 5, everybody? Hit us up.
Yeah, let us know your top 5
at Let's Go Comic Show.
Top 5 superhero movies of all time. You know, and you can't pick, and you can't put The Dark Knight on it because we all know. Let's just all say Dark Knight is there.
Like
number 1 with the bullet. We get it.
Yeah, number 1 with the bullet.
Number 1 with the bullet. Fallout Boy.
Fallout Boy.
So,
all right. So not a ton of other news. Our other news item today, we got a teaser trailer for Deadpool 2.
Oh gosh.
With Deadpool, Wade Wilson impersonating good old Bob Ross.
That was.
How'd you feel about this trailer?
It actually, I was glad I watched it today because as we get into comic reviews, it kind of put the voice of Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool back into my head.
Oh, so as you're reading the character?
Yeah, it helped me because I'm not a huge Deadpool fan. Like, I don't read a lot of Deadpool comics. I don't think I've read any except maybe a couple of free ones that were on the Marvel app or something like that. But I thought the movie was funny. I think Ronald Reynolds, it's a perfect vehicle for like Ronald Reynolds.
Ronald Reynolds.
Ronald Reynolds.
Who's Ronald Reynolds?
It's his brother.
Sorry, guys. I'm
Ronald Reynolds. Ronald Reynolds, the creator of Reynolds Wrap and other like food packaging, wraps. So no, Ryan Reynolds. It's a great vehicle for him.
He's a Texas state representative for the government.
There you go. And he's Deadpool's stunt butt double. So. There you go.
Thank you, Ronald Reynolds.
Thank you. Thank you for your service. Oh boy.
So did this trailer get you excited for the movie though?
Yeah, I mean, I can see the John Wick like feels. You know what I'm saying? Like
a little bit.
Like
I felt like they focused so much on the Bob Ross kind of goofiness. So I was like,
that's probably
it didn't really do anything for me for the movie, honestly.
It was so irreverent and goofy that it made sense because then it got to do the what? Oh, we can't even repeat some of the things that were said, but go watch it.
I know. Yeah, dude.
It's funny. Go check it out. Don't watch it with mom.
Don't watch it with mom, but enjoy. We got returning characters. Like to see Dopinder like getting a bigger role. It looks like that's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Don't really get a good shot of Cable. Quick little quick shot of
When's that
Domino.
come out?
Gosh, when does it come out? I don't know. But here's the best part, Justin. I looked it up to watch it a second time on YouTube.
Yeah.
And the YouTube description for this trailer is as follows.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it's in theaters June 1st, 2018, by the way.
Oh, okay. Good.
After surviving a near-fatal bovine attack, a disfigured cafeteria chef, Wade Wilson, struggles to fulfill his dream of becoming Mayberry's hottest bartender while also learning to cope with his lost sense of taste. Searching to regain his spice for life, as well as a flux capacitor, Wade must battle ninjas, the Yakuza, and a pack of sexually aggressive canines as he journeys around the world to discover the importance of family, friendship, and flavor, finding a new taste for adventure and earning the coveted coffee mug title of World's Best Lover. That actually got me more excited for the movie than the trailer did.
There you go.
It's just so fun.
There you go, dude.
Mm-hmm. That's news.
I love it.
It's a dry week.
It is a dry week. Well, there's a lot going on this week, though. You got Justice League coming out.
Oh, yeah. I was going to ask you about that when we were talking about the top 50 list.
Oh.
Do you think... Here, let's make a guess.
Oh, man.
For your personal top 50.
Yeah.
We haven't seen the movie yet.
I haven't seen it.
Comes out this weekend.
That's a thing.
Is it going to break top 50 comic book movies for you?
No.
Dang, dude. That ended quickly. I was wondering if we were
top
gonna,
50?
Do you think it'll be in the top 50?
Oh, yeah, it'll probably be in the top 50. Sorry, I thought you meant like the top. I thought for some reason you did the top.
No, I said
15.
50. I don't know if you.
I feel that.
Do you feel like top 30?
Here's the thing. It's going to be.
Yeah, he's diverting. Like,
I'm not diverting. I'm trying not to like jump in there and just be emotional. I'm thinking it's historical. So sometimes history can place something in a list up higher for certain. Like I think Wonder Woman's there for many reasons. It was a really good movie, but it was the first time we really had a good female-led superhero movie. Right? Is Wonder Woman better than Dark Knight? No, I don't think so. Is it a great movie? Yes. Does it have a bad third act, kind of, with Ares? Yeah,
kind of.
But the
great.
character and the significance of that movie is bigger than that, and I think that's why it's up higher, and I think it deserves that spot. Now, Justice League, it coming out may be like, it plays higher than like X-Men. I don't know, maybe. I haven't seen it yet, and the stuff that's out is so all over the place. It's good, it's bad, it's great, it's okay, it's everything I've wanted to see. It's garbage. Like so, it's like
it's really all over the place. Yeah,
it's probably more divisive than Batman versus Superman, and I'm just so over it. It's so annoying, dude. People are annoying online.
It seems like a 50-50 shot that we're gonna like this thing.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Here's the one thing I want it to accomplish.
Yeah.
Don't make me sad that you're making more movies with these characters.
Yeah.
That's literally all I want to like. I want to leave the movie with like, yeah, I'd like to see more of that person.
Yeah.
Don't make me leave that movie not wanting to see a Flash movie or not wanting to see an Aquaman movie. Like that would make me so sad.
Well, the one thing I have heard is that it leaves you excited for more. So,
well, hey, I'm up for that. This week, man, and The Punisher. Are you gonna? Do you think you're gonna?
I'll probably finish The Punisher before I finish Stranger Things 2. My wife isn't going to want to watch The Punisher. So
you can kind of hop ahead on that one a little faster.
Yeah, she's just not going to want to like sit down and watch that. So yeah, dude, I'm so excited for The Punisher. Like,
yeah, we'll have to do a show talking about that one, man.
We will. It'll probably have to be post-Thanksgiving. What if our thing... What if? I don't know how we do it. Thanksgiving. I want to do Thanksgiving so bad. We'll see.
You got to watch a lot of episodes in a few days, my friend.
I don't know if we'll be able to do it, but we'll try. You know what? Thanksgiving comes after Thanksgiving anyways. So maybe we'll do that. We'll do our Justice League episode, and then we'll just do Thanksgiving and, bring in Christmas time. So.
Lots of good stuff coming down the pike. Even though it's a little bit of a slow news week this week, we got Justice League and The Punisher coming this week. We got Doomsday Clock coming from DC next week.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
Another issue of Metal in a few weeks. Like there's lots of good stuff coming down the road.
Yeah, lots of fun freaking nerd stuff. So,
but until then, let's talk about some comics, man.
Yeah, let's smell those floppies, Matt Ritchie. Take them out.
No way, man.
They always smell good, dude.
No way.
Except Mr. Miracle always smells weird. Speaking of Mr. Miracle, sorry, I know we talked about that last week, but have you been watching Justice League Action?
I've not.
So they had Mr. Miracle on the episode last week, but I forget that we have them because we bought my 5-year-old bought the season pass on iTunes. Hey, someone needs to disable that stuff.
Thanks, Ollie.
And so I've been like, I get these notifications. Justice League Action is ready to download. I'm like, oh crap. So anyways, we get those, and Mr. Miracle was on last week's episode.
That's cool.
It wasn't, but it's just a different voice, man. Like reading the.
Oh yeah, that's going to be a lot different.
To be honest, the voice didn't ever fit the voice I've heard Mr. Miracle in my head, and so this was kind of a really like douchey, avoid responsibility Mr. Miracle. He's just all about being a showman, but there was some nice jokes in there and a lot of like good getting out of like traps with Batman and whatever. But anyways,
cool.
It was just fun. My kids were like, "Who's this guy?" And Asher kept going, "He reminds me of Iron Man and Red Tornado if they were put together, just because of the cape and the mask." And anyways, it was just funny.
All right, what book you got in your hands there?
Oh, sorry, in my hands. Jumping right into these floppy. Well, hold on. This is good. This is a good one. Oh, saying Mr. Miracle, because Mr. Miracle smells different. It's just it has a different cover, the cardstock. But this comic, Bug number 5 from Young Animal, DC's Young Animal.
Got that classic smell.
It's got that classic smell. It's got a freaking great cover. It has OMAC, the classic OMAC on there.
Yeah, that's old school OMAC.
Yeah, and it looks freaking great. Another great Michael Allred cover. And there's a lot of crustaceans and sea life and octopuses and upside down whale beasts.
So this is the penultimate issue. We got one more.
It's the ultimate pen.
Ultimate pen issue. Justin, you haven't read yours yet.
I have not. I'm just flipping through it.
So I'm going to go ahead and just give my opinion real quick.
Yeah, do it.
And not linger on it too long so you can experience it for yourself. For me, it was one of the only weaker issues.
Really?
I had trouble digging into this one, finding something to really grab me, which I haven't found to be the case for the most
Even
part.
with freaking OMAC in it, because OMAC looks really cool.
He's not in it very much.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like every page I'm looking at, he's in 7 pages here.
Well, whatever, dude.
Gosh, look at that cool page of new. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, no. And here's the thing. I'm excited about the last issue because where they leave you, I'm like, oh, dang, I'm curious to see where this goes. Yeah. Still very similar storytelling. For me, to where the rest of the series has been a let's go so far, this issue dips just a little bit to a go for me. Only because it's always been kind of weird and kind of out there, and you're just kind of taking it in as it goes. The last issue, issue number 4, was so fun, and I was just enjoying myself the whole time, even though, you know what I mean, it can kind of be disorienting. This one just felt mostly disorienting, and I felt kind of a little lost.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the purpose of it, and that's fine. But for me, it just makes it dip a little bit in my excitement for this issue specifically. But I'm still really excited to close out. Gosh, are we closing out the year with it? Is it coming out next month? Closing out the year with
Bug.
The last issue of Bug.
It's fun. I remember when we got excited about it, and I remember the first issue. I think
it's been so good.
Yeah, I think I gave it a go. Because
the first one?
Not because I didn't enjoy it, but as a recommendation, I was like, is everyone going to love this? Was it too quirky?
Yeah, it's pretty quirky.
But I really like it. I like Mike Allred. I like everything about it. And so I'm actually really excited to read it. So let's just go into Aquaman 30.
Yeah, Aquaman 30
go
was
to the depths.
My other...
That cover is cool, man.
It's a rad cover. Okay, the art in general, I feel like I'm just repeating myself every few weeks when I get this, but this book has been awesome. The action has been great. The intrigue is great. There's always something that's interesting happening. and the art is still just gorgeous.
When you read it, do you hear like a regal Aquaman voice, or do you hear like Jason Momoa, like, my man? Oh yeah.
I feel like I actually like that. This feels like it strikes a balance between the two, honestly.
Okay.
Where like it's someone that's like he's not prim and proper,
Yeah.
but he definitely has an air about him where he feels like in command of kind of things. I don't know. I think it's a different kind of Aquaman that I've seen, but I love the balance they're striking where he's not like overly regal and formal.
Okay.
But he's not like a bro either.
He's bro.
He's not Broqua man. Nah, it doesn't really work.
Aqua bro.
Aqua bro.
What's up, dude?
But yeah, man, Dan Abnett, like the writing on his voice just feels good. The whole situation I'm trying not to give away details to everybody. Sorry. That's why it sounds lame trying to describe it this way, because Justin hasn't read it yet. Yeah, it's just a really interesting story. They keep things moving. You have growth in Aquaman's character and him kind of coming into what I think they're setting him up to be for the near future, to where he might not be king, but he is Aquaman, and kind of owning that role and what that means for him, which I think is an interesting place to put him in. I think they wanted to kind of probably pull him out of the King of Atlantis role to kind of give him a little more story capacity. Interesting development with Mira, where you're like, oh dang, what's going to happen? And not in like a cheap kind of way of like, but wait until next issue. But it's like, oh crap, like,
she's getting her own book
get
now.
over this. Yes, I saw that.
Is it a mini, or is it her
this
own
past
book?
week.
Is it like, she's getting her own book?
I don't know if it's an ongoing or a mini series, but she is getting her own book, Mira, and I think Amanda Connor is doing the covers for it.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it looked great, like the first art they released for it.
There you go.
So Aquaman continues to be a let's go for me.
Cool.
It's a great issue, and I can't wait until Justin has the time to catch up on it, so we can be on the same level here.
I think I just want to have like a whole year of Aquaman the Rain.
I'm just like waiting.
I'm getting there, man. Like, I can't even believe I was able to read comics today. So
I'm proud of you, dude. You did it.
Into Batman 35. It's still continuing the story with that Tom King is setting up with Batman and Catwoman going on this adventure to visit Talia because they need to rescue Holly, her little friend, who was the one who actually killed all those people, but Catwoman was set up for it, and so they got to get her out of there. And it's an actual cool issue between her and Talia, basically like throwing it all on the table, going, all right, here's who I am, here's what I can do, here's what Bruce Wayne is to me. Like, okay, well, here's what Bruce Wayne is to me. And without spoilers, I thought the ending was satisfying to it.
Don't spoil it.
Yeah, it kind of wraps it up. But my favorite part of the whole book is this back and forth between Dick Grayson and Damian Wayne as they're waiting for Batman and Catwoman to come out of this fortress wherever like the League of Shadows or the League of Assassins hang out in. So it's really cool, the back and forth of them. It's so believable, and so it just feels natural. Like you read it and like, this is them. This is them from the Grant Morrison run of when he's Batman and he was Robin. And they always had a good connection. Yeah. Well, Tom King just steps in there and writes some of the most like believable dialogue. Sometimes he's very poetic, and it's like the way he writes stuff. But this was just natural, and it was like there you get that the history is there between Robin and Dick Grayson, and it's so good. It's such a good thing. Like, I want him to write. It's almost like, dude, will you just write a Dick Grayson Robin book?
Oh dang!
Like,
or Dick Grayson Batman?
Yeah.
Ooh.
No, I don't want that. I just want...
You don't want that.
You know what? I just want more of the Batman family, maybe, to be in this Batman book. I know that's what a detective is, kind of, but like...
Yeah. No, but the little bit he did that, I think, in 33 for sure.
Yeah,
like
that was
the way
good.
he had the Bat
Robins
family, the Robins, like that was great.
Yeah, he has a good grasp on the voices of all the characters. So I think that if he wants to bring more of those characters in, please do it, Tom King. You are the king of Batman dialogue. You are the king of Batman, Tom King.
Tom the King.
Yeah.
Joelle Jones.
Her art is fantastic, dude.
Fantastic. She's so good. Dude.
You know what? I don't know if anyone else could have drawn this and made it as cool. Like, there's something about her line work and everything. It's just so good. She did a fantastic job. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Like, these, you know what? These, if I saw her at a comic convention, I'd be like, will you sign my comic books? Because these are so good.
Here's what's cool about what Tom King has done with his Batman run in Rebirth. Man, I can't believe it's been 35 issues so far. Yeah, that's crazy.
But remember, it double ships. So we probably would be around 18.
That's just a lot of content is what I mean. It's just the sheer content.
Yeah.
But that first arc was just a Batman kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like through I Am Bane and all that kind of stuff. Like the whole point of that was over the top. Batman can literally do anything.
Yeah.
There's hundreds of people swarming him and he's still going to figure it out. And then you had, after the button, it feels like this kind of pivot to where he's giving a ton of like heart and getting kind of under the skin of who Bruce Wayne and Batman is. Mm-hmm. Like you just see a lot more of these like more relationally connected moments, these like kind of tender moments. And it's really interesting just to see that dynamic. Because I mean, really was just like, I'm freaking Batman was like the first, 20 issues or whatever. And now we're just seeing kind of that fleshed out a little more in his relationship with Catwoman and what the Robins are talking about. Like it's been cool to see that dynamic built out where it doesn't feel like cheesy or kind of like trite either.
Yeah. That's the whole issue's about. It's about Bruce Wayne wants to be happy. And Dick Grayson is telling him like he sacrificed his whole life. He's the first one to bleed when we're in a battle. He's the first one to bleed. He's the first one to give up.
Yeah.
And this is the first time in his life that he's trying to be happy. And
he's actually asking something of someone else.
And it's kind of like we need to let him be happy. Because I think Damien's feeling guilty about it, and Dick's kind of trying to like let him know it's not a you thing, dude. I think he's at a point in his life where he needs to feel happy. So here's the thing. This is like the satisfying like ending for Batman and Catwoman. And here we go. Let's go comic show like trope. The Dark Knight Rises missed it. Like the ending with Bruce Wayne and Catwoman. It wasn't an earned ending. It didn't feel earned. It was like, well, this chick's available. Right?
There wasn't like a history to draw.
There wasn't a history. There was no like, oh man, they ended up together.
Tom King, why didn't you write that?
Yeah, Tom King, why didn't you write The Dark Knight Rises? So this right here, it just feels really satisfying. Especially there's a part where Talia is just like she's beat, she's done, and Bruce Wayne, Batman's just still hanging out, and she's kind of like, I like her, she's cool, and those aren't her words, she says that more Talia like, but there's this like. And he just goes, the like, typical Batman, like, Rrr. But it was a really cool, I think it's a really cool payoff to this whole story. And so going back to New 52, remember the whole thing was like, can't be married, no one wants to read about marriages, da, da, da. The one thing that excites me about this story is that they're going to get married. And I want to see what the new status quo is for Batman.
Yeah, because like, what does that even look like?
He's never had that. That's like a huge deal.
It's always been like, what if, like maybe it could possibly happen.
Earth 2 Batman got married to Catwoman and had Huntress and all that stuff, and fine. But like in the modern age, the modern telling, like something that's going to stick, and I hope it sticks. I hope it's there for a long time. I hope it's kind of like the Lois Lane Superman situation. Like, don't take that away. Let it develop.
Well, you need like with any creative kind of situation, you kind of need a wrench thrown in the works every once in a while to make you think of something different.
You're saying that marriage is a wrench, Matt Ritchie?
Nope.
I know.
I'm not falling for your trap.
It's a hammer. No.
I'm saying you need something when you're telling a story that forces you to think differently. You need to write yourself into a corner so that you have to think differently to get yourself out of it.
Yep.
And the New 52, for DC, one of their biggest misses in that was that cutting out established relationships was going to bring fresh ideas.
Yeah.
When really it seems like we're seeing proof that it's the exact opposite.
Yeah,
it's actually like, okay, now you've like limited yourself to this relationship. Now what's the story going to be? And a good storyteller is going to be able to figure it out.
Tom King, tell me.
I think Tom King's up for the challenge, man.
Tom King's the best.
I'm excited for it.
TomKing.com. I don't know that. Don't go.
What would you rate it?
That is. Oh, dude, I think since this whole story is wrapped up, the 3 issues together.
Rules of engagement. So this is the third part.
Yeah, third part. Got to go.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so fun. I feel like the second issue wasn't as it was a little more like drawing out the story. But I think
like the first issue we gave a let's go.
Yeah, but I think the whole arc as a whole, it's a gotta go. When you see the whole thing, it's just so good. It's fun. Again, with story and art together, plus like what they're telling and the character work.
Cool.
It's a
I'm
gotta
excited
go,
to read
man. Check it out. It's so good. Batman.
Number 35.
Number 35.
That redesign on Catwoman's costume is awesome.
Yeah,
That's my
it's
last
all
word
fun.
on that.
There you go.
Superman 35.
Didn't read it yet.
Didn't read it yet.
There you
All
go.
right, but you got it.
Good, I got it. It's here.
Defenders.
It's been a cool storyline though. This like
So Defenders 7.
Defenders 7 or 6. Is it 6 or 7? Oh man, I don't even know. Freaking fun. It was a fun book, dude. It's this.
Do you feel like you're reading it differently now, knowing that Brian Michael Bendis is leaving?
When I looked at it today, I was like, "Is this like one of the last issues I'm going to buy of Defenders?"
I feel like
if they bring on another
the
writer,
year, you think?
I feel like he's got a couple more in it the way they do publishing and stuff. So he's probably going to finish this Kingpin arc and then be done. But if they bring on another writer that I like, I'll stick with it. And I really, really, really like David Marquez's art. So I'm like, it's got to be a good story.
Yeah.
And Bendis writes a good story.
I wouldn't be mad if David F. Walker wanted to write the Defenders, dude.
I wouldn't be mad either. It'd be good. The one thing I didn't like at first was the Deadpool intro because it was like 3 pages of Deadpool jokes. But
And that's in this issue, or that was last issue?
No, it's in this issue. It's in this issue.
Wasn't he on the cover of issue 6?
Yeah, he's in issue 6, but at
Oh,
the end,
like the last page. Or
he's
whatever.
like not hooking up, but he's like hanging out, talking to Jessica Jones about, being a part of this investigation, looking for Kingpin and all this type of stuff. So anyway, he's in this thing, and then he shows up at the end. And I just don't know if I like Deadpool. But watching the trailer today kind of put me in a Deadpool like mindset, so it didn't bother me so much.
Mm-hmm.
But there's some cool stuff that happens. I don't want to spoil it, but there's a lot going on. They actually kill a major villain.
Whoa.
I'll tell you that. But I won't tell you who the villain is.
All right, dude, I'll have to read it.
Maybe not major, but kind of like, oh, he's a villain that's been associated with, like Spider-Man and Daredevil and stuff for a while. Oh, or is it not a he?
You've given me a clue. All right,
Anyways,
what would you rate this one?
I think it's overall. It's a let's go. It's fun. I'm loving it. It's good. If you like the TV show, you'd love this. Even better than the TV show, I think.
Yeah, TV show
Iron
is fun.
Fist is awesome in this. Elektra really looks like the TV show version. It's like they're kind of tapping into that feel. She has a good encounter with Iron Fist, and she's like, I've heard about your fighting skills. Basically, like, you're a legend and whatever. And they fight, and they have a good back and forth. And like, we've never fought, and they have a cool fight the way they show it. And
Sweet.
So yeah, good stuff. And there was definitely a big character like reveal about to happen, and then it got interrupted by something.
Okay.
Spoiler.
Well, dang, dude, I need to go read it.
Yeah, check out the Defenders. It's fun, man. It's probably one of the best books Marvel's doing.
That's cool. Well, I mean,
there you go. I'm only buying 3 of them, but I only buy the best.
All right, man. Last comic to review.
Oh man, this one's
Dark Knight's Metal, The Batman Who Laughs.
Ooh.
So we've been kind of knowing this one's been coming for a while, and they've kind of been setting it up as a pretty big one.
It's actually sold out. I read today.
Oh, wow.
It's sold out. So like it's going back to print.
And it's been a character. So the Batman Who Laughs, like this character has made an appearance in all of the other Metal books.
Yeah.
All the one shots, at least. He's kind of been the ringleader for these Dark Knights.
Yeah.
Man, where do you want to start talking about this issue? It is dark.
It's dark. It's honked up. I actually, can I just say I don't like it?
Sure.
And
we're just talking opinions here, man.
Yeah. Going back to the wrestling thing from the beginning, like you're not supposed to like the heel. And I don't I just didn't like this book, but I don't think I'm supposed to like it. I think I'm supposed to not like it. And
I think you're supposed to be a little appalled. Like I think it was intentionally provocative. It's supposed to provoke.
It was
like disgust and stuff. You know what I mean?
I think the artwork is kind of cartoony, and part of me doesn't. I don't know if it was on purpose to make it less dark or less affecting, because I think if it was a realistic artist, it would have been a lot harder to read.
Yeah, for sure. They needed to exaggerate a little bit because it was a lot of messed up. Like it is none of the Metal one shots have been lighthearted.
No, not at all. But the art in here is definitely
been real rough. It was a rough issue to make it through, man. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah,
but I think that was the point.
Yeah, no, it definitely was. And
I would say so. It was James Tynion, right, writing it.
Yeah.
It's weird and fairly disturbing.
Yeah.
That being said, for me, it was still somewhat interesting.
No, it was.
The concept itself was very interesting to me, and especially because they like really hit on this like meta kind of theme of like the Joker and the Batman always kind of being two pieces to the puzzle kind of thing. And then like, okay, like take that to its logical conclusion of what if they were actually combined, where you had the craziness and the kind of anarchy of the Joker, but with the planning and preparedness of Batman.
Yeah.
Which makes that, I think the point of this, like at the end of this issue, I think they're just like, when you go the end of, was it Metal number 3 was the last like main title, right?
Yeah.
You're supposed to feel like things are pretty bleak, like more and more. Batman lost, things are really bleak. End of this issue, things are really, really bleak. Like, this is a bad guy.
Yeah, this is the one, like this is the one who's like looking forward to Barbados. Like, oh, yeah, bring me on. Let's do this. Let's go on to
right.
Like, it's
to where you might see at least like a tragic kind of like, you know what I mean? Like a tragedy kind of story with some of the other Dark Knights. You especially saw that in, was it last week, a couple weeks ago, with The Merciless. Like, it was a very tragic thing. You almost kind of feel for him, even though it's kind of like messed up. Similarly with the Red Death, where you have like, he's literally merged with Barry, so you can hear Barry trying to talk to him the whole time.
Yeah.
So there's these like things where you have like some sympathy or empathy for these characters, and this one it's just nope.
No, this one's the twisted. So basically, he has an altercation with Joker. It's kind of a classic, like, I'm gonna kill this family right in front of you, Batman. And
you better take care of me. You break your rule.
And he does. So he kills Joker, breaks his neck, and then Joker releases a toxin, and it
kind of rewires Batman.
Yeah,
he makes it seem like
it's so
he's aware of it.
Super comic booky science, you know,
for sure. And he seems like he's aware of it, and he's talking to the Bat family about it. Like, hey, like this is happening, and you guys need to be able to handle it, kind of thing.
Yeah,
and that ends up being a trap for. He's like, no, I need to make sure and take care of you guys because you're going to be able to tell that I'm going down.
Yeah, but he feels bad. But he feels guilty for those little Roblins, those little goblin Roblins. Because remember, he killed the parents, and so he...
Is that what that was? I totally missed that part.
Yeah, in the beginning, all those kids that he killed, their families, he made those little people his Robins, his little Joker Robin goblins.
Oh. So and then Damien was like his special Robin goblin.
So they're the Roblin goblins. So
the crows.
It just becomes like he's becoming aware, and there's that one part where, like, he laughs at, you know, Superman's telling him, hey, like the psychologist like had her throat like bit out or something, and he laughs and he's like, sorry, that wasn't funny. And so that's kind of a hint, like, oh, something's up,
right?
And then he meets up with the rest of the Bat family. Some things happen, and they're kind of in like a danger room situation. And then Batman shows up, and he's kind of like being transparent with them. Hey, man, I'm all honked up. You know, that's why I called you guys here. And then it's just like, he like blows them all away
with guns.
It's crazy. And it's super sad. And it's super like, it was just very jarring because I wasn't expecting it, because it kind of felt like, what? But
once he had him there, and once one of, I think it was Dick, like said something like, well, we'll be able to tell. Yeah. I think he's like, yeah, that's the exact reason why you got him here.
You know what it felt like? It felt like someone doing really, not bad. I'm not saying bad in a way of like, it doesn't look good. Like bad fan art on like, you know, of someone's like, what if Batman was crazy and he shot everybody up? And that's...
Did you like that progression of his costume? Because you notice he had like the green kind of accents and stuff to it. I thought that was kind of a cool.
No, that was actually really cool. But it's kind of like that page did it for me. It was page 14 or something. That one made me like upset, and I felt gross.
Yep.
Where he's shooting Red Hood and Batgirl and Dick Grayson and Robin, and it felt like, oh my gosh, this is one thing like my kids would never see this.
Right.
You know, like they should never see this.
Right.
I wish I didn't see it. That's how much it was disturbing. I was like, dude, like, did they go too far with this?
That was definitely, I remember reading it thinking like, okay, please don't go any further than this.
Yeah. And then they did. Because then the Justice League's torn apart. You know, the stuff with Superman and his family, that was off panel. You know what I'm saying?
That was still that was the part for me. That was the hardest part for me.
Yeah.
The implication,
I feel like right
the
now
implication
talking about
of
it,
what happened.
I feel bad right now. You know?
Ugh.
Yeah. See, it's kind of a bummer, dude. It's a super bummer. And
again, I think you need to enter in like when something, like not to overthink it, but when you have an artistic, like a story told, you kind of need to look at it like, what's the point? What's the goal of the way they're telling you the story? And I wonder if this is like, this was the goal of the way they were telling the story. And then you can kind of take it in like it's good or it's bad, to be like, maybe it's just not my kind of story.
Yeah. Like this is too dark for Zack Snyder, man. Just kidding. Zaddies, girls and boys. Yeah.
Zack Snyder thinks it's too bad.
Yeah. He was like, what? And I usually like really cool looking heavy metal stuff. And I think that did, because it's Batman.
It seemed like it crossed the line a little bit.
It did for me.
But again, I think that was the point. So, I mean, I really feel torn on that side of it.
Yeah. Is it a bad comic? No. I don't. But even kind of going through it again right now, just looking through it, I'm like, oh.
I just don't know if it's for me.
Yeah.
I think that's where I would land.
This will be the most. Here's what I hope. Here's what's going to happen. This is me just calling it out.
Yeah.
This character is going to last. They're going to bring him back. He's going to be like this until you're like, oh, why the heck is he around again? I hope they don't. I hope actual Bruce Wayne Batman just freaking takes this guy out and is like, I'm never going to be you. A situation like that.
I feel like I've already seen things that he's going to be a character in one of the books, like spinning out of it.
Really? Oh, dang it. Yeah, I just don't like him. I don't like him. He stinks and I don't like him. He's got a cool look, that's why.
So what would you rate him? No, maybe not him. Sorry, the book.
I think the book's got to go, dude.
Really? Whoa. You got to explain that to me.
I'm not saying it's a bad book.
So you're just saying a group of people, like your kids, like should never see it, and that feels like at odds with saying it's a got to go.
If you showed kids this, you should got to go to jail. But like the story moves you, makes you feel stuff, and so art makes you feel things. Just because
it provokes
you don't
emotion.
agree with
like
it.
That's the definition of provocative.
Yeah, whether it's comic books, movies, music, whatever, it's making me feel something, and I think it did its job. Like they didn't write this story for me to go, oh man, this was awesome. This was the feel good Batman story of the year, right? If I think their job, what they were trying to do is get you to feel like gross and sick, and this is messed up.
And like, how are they going to get out of this?
Why did you guys write this? I think that was the intention. So I think it's a gotta go in the sense of like, you should. I mean, if you're a fan of this story, you need to read this because you need to have.
This feels like the most applicable of the one shots.
Yeah.
To the main storyline to me.
Yeah.
Even if it's not my favorite issue of it, I would still say The Merciless was probably my favorite one.
Okay.
Just as a book as a whole, like you're taking in art, story, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. But man, as far as its bearing on the main title, it's pretty key for it, but I don't know if I would give it a gotta go. That's really interesting. Okay, so here's what it makes me think of in this whole discussion. We're kind of getting sidetracked, but I think it's good. Have you seen the movie? Did you ever get to see the movie Mother? Probably not, right?
No. Sorry, I don't got that. I don't got that movie pass.
Dude, whatever. Stop bringing back to movie pass. But it's a similar kind of thing, like without saying what that movie is, because you should see it. Mm-hmm. But people coming out of the theater for that movie were like upset at the end of it.
Yeah.
Like I've heard stories of people like asking for their money back and stuff, which you don't hear a lot for movies. Like even if people don't like it, they're like, I didn't like it. But this was like, no, like that sucked. And it's like, well, what was your expectation of it? And what do you think their goal was? Because if their goal was to make you feel unsettled and a little weirded out, it was mission accomplished. And it did exactly what he set out to do as an artist. Do you know what I mean? And so it makes me feel similarly about this, to where like, whether it's for you or not, that's going to go back and forth for different people. But I think you can realize that like, it seems like it accomplished what they set out to do.
Yeah, no, and
it's well done. Like you can state that, and say, I don't know if it's for me,
And that's why I think going back to like the art and everything, I think was picked on purpose. Like we had to keep it goofy looking because then it would have been really dark. You know what I'm saying? If it was Jason Fabok doing it or anybody with a realistic, like edge to their work, it would have made it more dark. And I think it needed to have that cartoony edge that it skirted. So yeah, I thought it was a good book, man. It's just, I don't know if I want to read it again. But it gave me the feelings that I need to have. It gave me the feelings I need to have going into Metal number 4. And I want
it raises the stakes really well.
Yep, exactly. There are stakes. That's so key in a comic book story. Stakes.
Yeah, because if you don't feel like there's stakes, then it's like, okay, I mean, whatever.
All right, that's cool. That looks nice.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what I would rate it. I was leaning towards a go.
Oh, whoa, really?
Maybe a let's go. To where I would say, well, because I think it's so based on like what you can handle, not that it's not well done or well executed. So I'll land on a let's go. I think for it.
There you go. That's fine. I can dig that.
Man, that is kind of a bummer of a last subject to have for the show. So that's the show.
So let's turn it around then. Let's turn it around, buddy. If man, I actually felt really sad.
How are we going to pull this out, Justin?
I know. Justice League
I
is
need
this
to not
weekend.
ask you that question. That's a really weird question.
Justice League's coming out, and it's full of bright hope and optimism and Jeff Johns.
I have hope and
superheroes.
Optimism that The Flash is going to be great in this movie.
I am, right now, I'm like 50-50 going into it. I don't know how I'm going to feel.
Yeah, I feel completely neutral. I think you've had some stuff spoiled for you, and I have not.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't listened to the soundtrack. I haven't watched clips.
Man.
I haven't done any of that stuff.
Yeah, there's definitely some cool stuff I'm looking forward to, and there's some stuff I'm like, I need to see it on my own. And the one thing that I have going for me is my boys are excited. And that kind of is magnetic. You know, like, oh, my kids are excited for it. They have this like,
that's cool.
Oh, Dad, like, did you see that part where Flash trips? Like, how's he going to come out of that? And like, when Aquaman's surfing on the Batmobile and all that stuff, like, that's, they're sold.
Yeah. They're going to reenact stuff with like action figures and stuff.
They're probably going to jump off the house, like like they're surfing a parademon. You know, they'll probably jump on the dog and stab it with a pitchfork. Or don't do that.
Yeah, don't give your kid a trident. Okay.
Yeah, don't give your kid a trident. So, anyways, looking forward to that. So, here's the thing: if you want to hook up with us on the internet, swipe right. Just kidding. If you want to send us a message on Twitter or anything, you can find me on Twitter at j_rocka, and you can find Matt at Matt Ritchie. MatTRichey. You can go to at Let's Go Comic Show and send us some messages there as well. You can follow us on Instagram at Let's Go Comic Show. Visit us at www.letsgocast.com where you can listen to this show and the Let's Go podcast. But the most important things you guys can do, the number one and the number two things you guys can do is be a Patreon. Be a fan supporter of the Let's Go podcast universe. So that, hey, feel like, you know what? I'm not just listening. I'm a part. You know, like the Hair Club for Men? They're not just a member, but they're also a client. You know what I'm saying? Like, be a part.
I feel like that's not exactly how it goes, but I get
it's something like that. We will send you hair growth pills or maybe some stickers and T-shirts. So go to patreon.com/letsgocast and you can see the different reward systems we have for you. We'd love for you to be a part of the show.
Yep.
And
every little bit counts and all of that stuff.
All of that happens. All of that's good. You know, everything counts in large amounts as well. Depeche Mode. There you go. Hey. And if you're like, hey, man, I don't have a couple bucks, or how else can I help? Here's what you can do. Go to iTunes, look up the Let's Go Comic Show, and leave us a 5-star review and some positive comments. Really easy to do. If you just go to our website and you click on the Let's Go Comic Show, there's a link right there for you. And that would help us out 100%, $1 million.
Yeah. And it's great. We even got a handwritten note this last week.
Do you want to read that?
From
Matt?
Kyle. It was actually a thank you for attending his wedding.
Aw.
And at the bottom of it said, P.S. Thanks for the, I think it was life-changing podcast.
Life-changing podcast.
Glad we can have that effect on your life.
So, thank you.
Well, I only do one podcast, so
thank you for recommending
that limits it.
The Batman comic where he kills those kids in the Justice League. It changed my life.
It changed my life, man. So thanks for doing that, Kyle.
Cool. Thank you, Kyle. Thank you for listening. Please leave a review with 5 stars.
Yeah, go ahead and take that same little handwritten note and put those kind words up on
Probably
iTunes.
take a lot less time to write it on a computer than it did to write that little card.
Which makes that note so special.
And that's right. But that doesn't help us in the ratings. So get on iTunes and leave us 5 stars and a positive comment. All right. So you good, buddy? You looking forward to this weekend?
Looking forward to this weekend. Lots coming up in the next couple weeks. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
As long as everybody keeps, a good attitude in the nerd world.
Keep a good attitude, nerds. All right. My name's Justin.
I'm Matt.
Let's go.
Let's go.